visualizing this board in my head and like seeing the power, I guess, is something that I lack, I want to say.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Right.
You see?
Yes.
So why would you play 96? Why would you play 96 when you can actually think about captures first? There's a lot of captures possible.
Okay. So,
Wait, which book is this? I think this is like my worst part of my game. So I think
There's no way this makes sense, but like the way you explained it, it actually kind of does a little bit.
This is Stefan, and we have been working almost for 2 years. Today I will show you his statistics, how he made a progress with my chess coaching program. Let's break down how Stefan improved his rating. At the very beginning I noticed that his opening knowledge is quite well. On the other side, the other parts of chess were not so well, such as tactics, strategy, visualization and endgames. Once we started putting the pressure on these sort of exercises, we see very big and significant improvement in his general understanding of the game. So what is really important in chess? To focus on what is your biggest weakness. That's first part you should do if you're starting at chess or if you want to really improve your game.
The other option we said is to just close everything.
Just to give you the context, in the next part of the video we are talking about the position where we are examining and breaking down the ideas, and also how Stefan is managing to find the proper answer for the certain position.
If they do that, they'd move their bishop back somehow, and that looks like how I would play in a game, probably. Actually, that looks a little bit bad. Maybe more than a little bit bad.
So now it's a question, should you firstly trade it, make it this way and then play 94, or immediately to play 94?
Yeah, this move right away, we open like the C line as well. I want to say I would lean towards this one, just to like open all of the lines. Like even this rook coming here, and then like if, I guess, A5.
You just explained the plan with 94. That this immediately gives the option to your rook to come on B-line.
Yeah.
Why you need to take? Okay, you think it's the similar after the certain trade and then 94, but what is addition bad for us and good for white in that case? Knight is restricted, right? Why would you trade bad knight for your potential good knight in case if they take here on d5 to join your knight in the middle and then to get access all these squares here?
I didn't think of that.
Knight is bad. You know that,
yeah,
because of g6, perfect defense on the king side that we had earlier. And if you do this, this is possible. Black is still good, black is still slightly better. But when you allow this, you also simplify the position. Then they don't have a bad piece. Suddenly the middle is open, and there is a pressure here. Once you play 94, let's say they will trade it like this, for example, keep this knight into the game, because now this knight can be regrouped on the light square. And yeah, you will have a passer pawn, you will still be slightly comfortable here because of this pass pawn, but on the other side of the board, there are not going to be huge problems for white, because what his intentions are now is just to trade every single major piece and play this endgame where he can actually have dangerous pass pawn.
Now that you put it on the board, it actually, it looks a lot better for white.
But when you do 94, and when they take, because taking with knight just took more time from white because he needs to regroup the bishop. Let's say they traded the bishop first. You take back, they take here, you take here, and here we go. Your knight gets this option, your rook is ready for rook b6 anyway, like in the previous line, rook b8, full pressure on b2, even f5 with some king h7 move could be fine if you're scary about certain diagonal here. And here we go. We are much better here as black.
Yeah, I guess maybe, I was going to say, like, just seeing this position on the board versus, what was it? This position on the board?
Yeah.
Like, just seeing it on the board, it looks, like, so much better, this one. But, like, I guess visualizing this board in my head and, like, seeing the power, I guess, is something that I lack, I want to say.
Because you're not experienced in the structure. You haven't played it in the past, and you don't have intuition also on that positions. Like maybe you have better intuition on other positions because you already know them, but here you need some little experience to understand it.
So like this is what, like 3 moves back and forth. Like I could calculate like a tactic 3 moves back and forth, but like I guess just getting this far and just seeing like the power like of the position, or just even seeing that this position is better than this one, I guess that is, where I would lack, I would say.
Sheldon recently started with lessons, and in this part of the video I will talk about with him how we change the approach and break down the tactics we see in the game and how to spot them if we don't see them. How to spot the tactics in important moment in the game is really hard, I completely understand that. That's why here I'm showing you an example what's the right way of doing this. Sheldon got one idea, he's happy about that. He is making the perfect way, execution, but then suddenly he's hitting the wall. Once he hit the wall, he got upset, and after that he's completely falling apart. In this case, what he should do is start changing approach in this idea, not falling apart, changing approach. That's really important. By changing approach, following the basics, tactics, capture, strats, you're gonna successfully find a way and you won't fall apart in the certain and important moment in the game. That's being successful in the game or following improvement.
Yeah, my move would be knight to e6. Well, no, hold on. Knight to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, my move would be knight. No, I don't know if that would be my move. I was thinking knight to e6. Yeah.
Previous example was very good. Like you saw it, like you already saw 100 of them. But this one, you already forgot what we are checking first. Priorities, right?
Right.
You see? That happens in the game. You find a great thing, and then suddenly you move back 100 steps.
Yes.
So why would you play 96? Why would you play 96 when you can actually think about captures first? There's a lot of captures possible.
Okay, so immediate capture would be bishop takes bishop. I'm not quite sure. Oh, wait, I get it. So, okay, I think I see it. So the queen is protected. The queen is protecting the rook on the b file.
Yeah.
So if I take the queen out of play, then I can get the knight for free.
Yeah.
And then if he takes back, I take the rook with a check. So then it would be a knight and a rook down for a bishop. So if I go h3 takes d7, queen has to take back. Well, doesn't have to, but if he doesn't take back, then I get the bishop for free. And then if he does take back, then I go.
How do you start? What move order is right? Do you start with
the
this
move order? Is
correct.
I think I start with the bishop, because if I take back, if I start with the rook sacrifice and he takes the pawn, I still can't take the rook first. So I would start with the bishop. The bishop takes bishop first.
Yeah, and that will force the exchange.
And that will force the queen to take back. Then I take the bishop, and then I take the knight at c3.
Yeah.
If he takes back with the pawn, then I take the rook at b8 check.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, that's simple. Sometimes we can miss it because we think, okay, maybe I can play bishop e6. This also looks very beautiful because after take, my pawn is so strong. I can open d line. Imagine placing your rook on the 7th rank in future, and suddenly, let's say in blitz wrapping games, which is today really popular, you can miss the certain tactic just because you're not looking at the forcing moves, forcing play.
Right.
So it's this one was actually even more simpler than the previous one.
h2 to h8. I mean to h8. It forces. If the king takes back, then I could immediately checkmate him with queen to h7. If the bishop takes back, then my plan is still the same. Queen on b1 to h7, check the king. The king goes away. I take the bishop and I pin him, and I made him on the back rank. What I would probably do.
That's correct. This is the best one.
Okay, then I would probably go for like the knight e2 plan.
And the last student for this video is Toby. Toby is actually doing very well in tactics and openings, but he's not so much great in middle game planning. That's what we did in the video, searching for ideas, breaking down opponent's threats, and finalizing our answer.
Knight e2 and knight f4.
Okay, after that, what you gonna do else with the other knight?
d2, b1, c3.
You just have to be careful after knight d2 to not allow them that big counterplay. But yeah, currently now b4 is the best. It's not mentioned here because it was more relying on the plan that you sometimes cannot have. This works tactically since the bad coordination of those two pieces. But if it's not working tactically, then you should find the best plan. And that's correct. You should never take. This will give them a chance. Hanging pawns are not so much simple. They provide certain danger. So yeah, that's why you can start with knight e2. And I don't know, let's say bishop e7, you go knight f4. They play g6. And now since after knight d2 you can lose the pawn in the middle, I believe firstly you need to protect somehow. So it requires some provocation. It's not clear because black is also good. Black has perfect coordination of queen, of dark square bishop, of the rooks, of light square bishop. So everything is greatly placed, but the structure is saying that we have better one and we would like to focus now on the weaknesses. And now you're ready for that. Thank you so much for watching the whole video. I really appreciate your patience. If you would like, you can leave the like, subscribe or comment to support the channel, and that's it. See you later.